Hello everyone, Canadian Gamer here, back with more Wurm Unlimited. I had some technical difficulties there. I attempted to record a video last night, and for some reason it didn't save, but we really only missed out on this. I've created a settlement. So basically, this area, if you look on the map here, basically from back here all the way down to the coast here and sort of the entire width of this little peninsula, this is going to be known as the farm. So it's going to have our crops, it's going to have our animals in the back, and some other things. Now, one of the advantages to having a settlement is, one, you do not need to worry about maintaining your buildings anymore. They will never decay. And that all comes out of the monthly upkeep, which under normal circumstances you would have to actually pay real money to You need to pay real money to do that, but I've just used my GM privileges, gave myself 100 coin. This is another 100 coin for Gwen. She's going to be creating another deed over here, which we'll go and have a look at there momentarily. But so I spawned in 100 gold coins. That would cost you an arm and a leg in a public server, in a Wurm Online server. But Wurm Unlimited is it's free for all. So this upkeep is going to last me almost 16,000 days. So I really do not need to ever worry about this again. So fantastic. So yes, you get the advantage of your buildings not decaying, as well as these little dudes, Spirit Templars. I apparently still have my GM privileges turned on. Oh well, I'll deal with that later. I chose 5. You can pick up to 20 for the size of the plot that I assigned, but I didn't want that many running around, so I've got 4 there. Oh, the 5th one is back there. So they'll wander around, and anything I consider hostile, or I tell them is hostile, they'll attack when it comes onto my settlement, whether it be other players, animals, players of certain kingdoms, whatever the case may be. We actually sort of had to, I wouldn't call it cheating, it's a creative server, but we had to cheat somewhat in order to allow ourselves to build settlements on a creative server. So basically, I tucked away a guard tower back here somewhere, so you can't really see it. It's hidden away behind that mountain there. You can see the one on this side. It's right up there. It's hard to see because it's dark there, but there's one right there. There's actually one down here as well, farther. So that one wasn't in the right spot. But yeah, so I've got a settlement, and it ends. It's the end of my pier. There you go. You leave the farm. So we'll head over to I guess we'll say Gwen's side of the river, and I've got this path here flattened out. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that yet. But that extends all the way over to where Gwen is going to be building her house. And I started this. I'm going to dump some dirt on there as well, so I can continue that path along. You can't pave on sand, so I'm going to have to dump some dirt in order to pave. You know, when I have GM privileges, I'm going to fly. Yep, so we're at the top of the hill here. Oh no, it's farther down here. So there's the path that will eventually be leading all the way to the mine. And down here... Oh yes, it looks like Gwen did manage to establish her... Gwentopia. She did manage to establish a deed. That extends, if I remember correctly, all the way down to the water, pretty much. Over to about here. Part way up this... very hard to see in the dark. Part way up this hill. And I believe she only went up to maybe here. She didn't actually go back very far, but that's fine because there's a steep hill right here, so it basically comes to here. So I think that's pretty much all we've done since my last video. Let's see here. Yeah, I've still got to build my other guard tower. I've been a little bit lazy with this game lately. We played a little last night and had some technical difficulties, so I didn't end up recording anything. If I can fly, I might as well. Yeah, and Gwen was pointing out as well how interesting it looks from up above. You know, you can see the whole area here when we fly up. So there's Gwen's little house there. Get a better idea there. Her deed kind of runs along this corner here, and then up this hill, and then across here, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So I was, my original video, I was going to show you guys the actual process of setting up the settlement, but it's pretty straightforward as long as you meet the criteria, meaning you know, you're not in range of any other settlements, you're in the right kingdom, things like that. It's pretty straightforward. You just choose how long, how wide in all four compass directions you want your settlement to be. So even though my settlement token's here, if you look on the map, it only extends to here, to the north, but to the south it extends all the way down here. So it doesn't have to be in the center. Just, you know, that's your hypothetical center of your, you know, your town center. People usually build like decorative walkways and stuff like that around this in some sort of courtyard or whatever, but that's just silly for two people, so not going to bother with any of that. Still have a horse in this house, I don't know why. Examine. Yeah, let's take you to the Pennant back. I don't know why you're here. Come with me. Yeah, and I also, I guess I didn't mention this because my video screwed up last night. I clear cut all this. I did have a few, just a few crops planted here, just to kind of boost my supply a little bit. But I am going to flatten all that stuff out properly, so it looks good. It's going to sort of have a. Where did the horse go? Flatten it all out properly so that it looks nice and neat. Start leading an age horse. I think it might be because I'm invisible. We'll just fix that quickly. No, it's not that because I was able. Yeah, there it is. That's what it was. And that's my personal horse. I'm gonna check on him actually. He's just been sitting there on dirt for quite a while. Picture, she's very well defined. Could use some grooming. Yeah, I need a grooming brush. Unhitch her first. I don't remember. Ah, there we go. Animals. Well, where'd you go? Okay. Alright, come with me, horsies. Alright. So that's that. We've got a couple sheep. I don't think we've bred the sheep yet. Got our horses. Got our cows. We already have a baby. So that's cool. Got some pigs. Pretty well set up. Once we start actually managing all this properly, it's going to be very productive. And another thing I wanted to do as well. You know what? I'm going to fly. Over across where Gwen built her land bridge. I keep forgetting to bring that cow back. Up on this nice bare stretch of land, I wanted to do like a vineyard type thing. Oh, great. Goblin. Oh, that's right. It's good to be a god. These guys are pretty nasty from what I've heard. Never tried to fight one, but just meat. Good enough. Oh, I guess I should bury that. Moments of inspiration are so pointless 9 times out of 10. So I wanted to build like a vineyard type thing here with some grapes and probably do olives as well, so I could do olive oil and wine. That's probably a very boring video, but I don't have much to tell you guys right now. I might extend the video, I'm not sure yet. You'll find out through the magic of television. Alright, so I've decided to continue with this video. So an update on what I've done. I've built myself a loom. I'll show you guys that later. Built a, what is it called for these guys? Barding. So I've created a barding for my horse. Kind of gives them an individual appearance. I've created horseshoes. I gotta wait for them to cool down before I can attach them. That gives me a huge speed bonus. And I've also created a kingdom tabard for myself. The appearance of the tabard changes depending on which kingdom you're part of. I guess these are the colors of this kingdom, I don't know. Not bad, red and yellow. So, while I'm waiting for those to cool down, I was just planning on popping over here where I mentioned I was going to build that vineyard and start sort of organizing some things there. I finished this gatehouse as well, so I've got the gatehouse on both sides. Really pulls it all together, I guess. Really need to get to paving that. Gwen sort of created the land bridge and then walked away from it, so I told her to pave it, but she never did. I think it was too wide that she did the yeah. There is a crap load of animals on that hillside. What is going on over here? I can't see what any of that is from this far away. Oh, you know what? I can actually use this to spy, which kind of gives you a telescope. Got a gorilla, got a calf, 2 chickens, another gorilla, a bull, a cow, there's a troll, a cow, bull, lots of cows, lots of bulls, horse, sheep. Wow, there's a lot of stuff over here. I think we're going to have to go on a little animal collection. Alright, so I'm going to cut down the few trees that are left here, find a spot to build myself a little shack, probably just a little 4x4 shack just to put everything in. And a couple rows for grapes, a couple rows for olives, olive trees I guess is what it's going to be. The grapes will be growing on trellises. So create somewhere to put a couple of rows of trellises and plant some olive trees. I don't have any olive saplings right now, I don't think. I'll have to go check my inventory in the farmhouse, but find some olive trees rather, cut the saplings off them rather, and replant them over here and let them grow. And also you have to worry about seasons in this as well. Everything just isn't, you can't just plant a grape bush, a grape trellis and have it ready in a week or something. Like olives, for example, are only ready in the first week of the 4th month, first week of the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th month, and grapes are first week of the 9th month. So depending on what time of the year it is, actually if I do /time, it'll tell you over here the time of the day, day of tears, and week 4 of the starfall of the digging in year 980. So that's like super confusing if you've never looked that up. But basically, day of tears is the day of the week. Day of tears is a Thursday. Week 4, so that just tells you there's 4 weeks in every month in this game. Exactly 4 weeks. Starfall of the digging, which is Starfall is the month. Yeah, so I'm on the 3rd month right now, so olives will actually be ready to go next month in, 1 week. 2 days, actually. 2 or 3 days. So I'll be able to actually harvest a bunch of grapes as well when I go get the seedlings, if I time it all properly. Alright, so I'll get to work on that, and come back with another update. Alright, so I've got my vineyard somewhat completed. Got my grape trellises set up here, like 15 of them. Apparently there's no way to transplant seedlings from olive trees, which is kind of lame. So I use my GM privileges to basically change the tiles to olive trees. So I've got olive trees, so I'll be able to prune them and keep them up and harvest the olives from them when they're ripe. Also did a lot of paving, all the way up to the vineyard shack, I guess you could call it, across the land bridge and up that way. I guess it was already paved, most of this. I've also converted a lot of dirt tiles back to grass, just to sort of, clean everything up, make it look a lot nicer. So I've got my crops, a bunch of crops planted, just small patches for now. Our skills are so ridiculously high that I can't even carry all of the stuff that I'll be harvesting from each field. So nine's good for now. So I've got, if I remember correctly, cotton, hemp, wheat, and potatoes. I only had 7 potatoes, that's why there's a couple of blank ones. I've taken my tent, get rid of that, we don't need it anymore. Gwen still hasn't taken her tent. What else have we gotten done? All of this is paved all the way up and around to her house. I haven't actually looked at her house since she built it. I know she filled it with a bunch of decorative stuff, laid down some dirt, paved all that. As I mentioned, you can't pave on sand. She's got herself a little pen set up for her horses. Guess she spawned a few extras. Oh, what's going on here? Oh yes, flying is extremely tiring. Alright, so she's got herself a nice table and chair set up there. Well, what's going on here? That's not right. Something glitched out. Oh wow, quite the bedroom. Got a big ass bed, couple side tables, rugs. Oops. Yeah, exquisite meditation rugs. Not sure what's going on there. Oh, she must have yeah, something got screwed up there. That's what happens when you play around with GM privileges, is you often will screw up certain structures that normally would have safeguards in place to prevent it. Yeah, this whole corner of the house has been raised up. She didn't... see if I can fix this quick. Let's see here, flat. Yeah, 3 slope up. House is in the way. I'm not sure what she did, but her house is all screwed up now. I'll leave that for her to fix. Let's pop back over. Cleaned up the hill here as well. Not sure if you've noticed that, but right here, this was all like super steep. So I flattened that all out to around 20 slope. So that looks much better that way. Still need to put down a few torches, but bumped up my guards to 8. Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. I extended my deed out to here as well. So it now basically, it's a little bit wider, just to about here. And just behind the house. So I've extended that quite a bit. else can I show you guys? I think that's about it. Yeah, lots of dirt tiles cleaned up, so it looks a lot better. Still need to clean up all that mess. I'm kind of hesitant to do it because it doesn't really affect anything functionally. Just, well, looks like shit. Alright, so call it a video. If you like this series, like and subscribe. Check out my other Wurm series as well, the 7 Shrines of Highthborn. I've got a terrible memory. Three or four videos up so far for that. I'll hopefully be doing my next video soon for that as well. And yeah, until next time.